There are some things when it comes to giving talks that are fallacies. It's been a myth and it's perpetuated in our profession. So if you watch this video, I want to clear it up. Look, when you're doing your talks and your outreach in your community, anytime you give a presentation, it shouldn't be a canned presentation. In other words, what I'm hearing a lot of docs say is, I have my signature talk. I have my one talk, my story, all about me, and that's my signature lecture. I put it together with my speaking coach. And I say, great. What chiropractic practice does your speaking coach work in? What new patients are they required to get for their own livelihood? And the answer is, they're not being taught by chiropractors who are in practice. They're not being taught by people that have worked post-pandemic to see how their cultures changed. And that's my unfair advantage. This is why we teach the Speak to Attract Believers workshop, because things have changed post-pandemic. Your word choice has to be specific to your audience. You shouldn't be going with one signature lecture at every audience all the time. You should change your message based on who's there. It's the golden rule of what we call who before how. Who you're speaking to should change how you try to relate to that audience. Always bring it back to chiropractic, but use words they're familiar with. Use analogies and metaphors that pertain to them. Use pressure points that you know are going to create an action step from that audience. So there's no way a group of nursing moms, which we did last week, new moms, would be the same message I'd give to a group of police officers, which the last time we did that was 90% male. Lactating women versus predominantly male in an inner city situation for police officers, two different messages entirely, two different goals entirely. So please don't tell me that one signature lecture is going to get equal draw from both audiences. It just isn't true. And this has been the lie in our profession. So I'm here to teach how to do talks, 60-minute variety. We also teach how to do 10-minute talks at the same workshop. It's called Speak to Attract Believers, because let's face it, skeptics suck. And how do I know that? Because I'm in practice, and I know when someone comes in from a Facebook ad or Google, sometimes they are less motivated. They want to know how many free adjustments they get. In my office, they get 0. So if this sounds like you and you understand the real world push that's going on because you're in practice, come join us for this 2-day workshop. We'll give you the talks, we give you the lectures. I even do a 10-minute talk, and you can video it while I do it. So you leave with a library and the how-to, and let's move away from this idea that you need a story or that your story brand is going to work for every individual audience that you go to. It's just not true. You need to make it unique for them, pull the audience to your practice, and then the healing begins. We'll see you at the Speak to Attract Believers workshop coming near you.
When I have too much time, sometimes I can maybe alienate part of the audience because I'm very passionate about what I talk about. And I think when I do the 10-minute talks, it's super concise. It's super about chiropractic. It allows people to have enough questions to get them to come into the office. The past 2 that I've done, the last 2 that I did, I signed up like 20 at the first one, and I just thought this was amazing. And the other thing that's beautiful about the 10-minute talks is that you're in and out.
Our last talk, we actually signed up 34 new patients, and there was only like, I don't even remember how many people were in the room, but it was like there were more people signed up than were in the room. It was amazing.
Side talks have really changed our practice. Last week, we signed up 22 new at a MOPS talk. Honestly, without his systems and without the way to leverage the information and to get the patients in there, we never would have been able to do it. But 22 new patients, we get to start seeing on Monday when we're right back in the office.
The most important thing he does is he gets you back to the root of why you're doing what you're doing. So he ignites that passion and then gives you the tools to go out in your community, serve, and get a whole lot of new patients while doing it.
We had a huge increase in our practice. We actually, for the first time, had an entire week where we had every appointment block filled, and we actually had to be telling people, we don't have space for any new appointments this week.
10-minute talk, and I can't believe how good this is and how you really can just take pieces of it and adjust it to whatever environment you're going to. It was so good. I know I'm going to be able to bring this home and do my advanced classes in the office and also reach out to my community more. I feel like I'm really going to make a big impact with this. Such a good seminar.
We've been averaging 2 to 4 events a month, which is just great. I mean, it's a great way to get out in the community, spread our message of chiropractic, but also to drive new people into our office to where, I'm not stressing every single month like when I was back 7 years ago opening my doors about where am I going to get new patients from? We just have a steady stream, and it just makes things stupid easy.
It's massively grown my office and my patient base. There's nothing like getting out there and spreading the word and talking about health and wellness in front of people. It's been my #1 marketing revenue source, stream of new patients. I can't speak to you enough. You have all the materials, all the resources. It's all given to you. It's all packaged nicely. All you got to do is get out there and do it.
Talks and getting my CAs to find talks. Our calendar's getting full, and the more we do and the more talks we're getting. So in that the lunch and learns and the talks have been very helpful to get new patients in, and the lunch and learn is something that people are very interested in and has helped us fill up the calendar with a lot more talks. The 10-minute talks and the way to close people is very, very efficient. I don't think I've done other procedures in the past, and this is the most efficient ones I've done. Highly recommend Speaking to Attract Believers.
Speak to Attract Believers, but really it's about if you want to improve your ability to get out in the community and do talks, and then improve your ability to close those audiences, because let's face it, the idea is to get more people on that table, right? Then highly recommend that you get to one of Dr. Brad's workshops.
Speak to Attract Believers. It allowed me to actually expand my location from a smaller clinic to a bigger clinic. In that first year of expansion, I doubled my practice. And in the third year after that, we have 40% growth on top of that doubling the practice. So it's instrumental on my marketing plan, on what I do. I go probably 2 to 3 times a week to speak to any type of business. I've done 5 people, I've done 100, 200 people. And every time it's a solid percentage of who's signing up, who's coming in. So I highly recommend it.